Hey guys, a couple months ago, Mr. David Schneider from Whiskey City Trad Gear reached out to me and said that he had a guy that he's wanting to introduce me to, get us in touch, that had some ideas for some traditional archery tabs. So he introduced me to Mr. Dan Rodriguez out of Michigan. The cool part about Dan and what he does is he has started a company building tabs for two-fingered archers, or archers that shoot the two-under style, which is what I do. Um, because of the way my fingers move, sometimes this ring finger mine doesn't get off the string just right on the three-under setup. So I've kind of migrated to a two-finger setup. Dan had done the same thing. So Dan and I started talking together. He sent me a tab to try out. After a little going back and forth, I was kind of a part in helping Dan develop a line of tabs that are called two trad tabs. And what that means is two fingers, two under traditional tabs. So what we've come up with, or what Dan has come up with, he's come up with two different um, styles of tab. This one he so graciously is labeling the Starks model, which I hope sticks. I kind of like that name myself. But what this tab does, for one, it's a very narrow tab that sits right on the inside of your fingers between the first or the second knuckle or the second joint and the joint on your hands. You guys are going to give me that scientific name. I don't know it. It's just between the second bendy part and the third bendy part is what I say. But what this tab allows me to do now is I can rest it here against the base of my hand. And the thing that makes his two finger tabs really cool is this little hook right here. It's aluminum tab. Uh, this hook is malleable enough. You can open it up if you need to. My fingers are a little bigger, so I open it up. I actually went on mine and put a little of heat shrink tubing on it. Um, the tab really didn't need it, but I liked it to be a little higher profile, so I put that on there. Didn't hurt the comfort factor. Like I said, really didn't need it. The tab worked great without it. But what this hook allows me to do now, I can rest that finger on that hook. This does two things. For one, it keeps the back of my hand really nice and flat. When I anchor, everything is real nice and flat back here. But I've noticed in videos of me shooting that with a two-finger tab, a traditional two-finger tab, my hand was really starting to roll and roll up. And I had no control over the bottom part of my hand. Those that shoot three under don't have that problem because it rests on the string. I was not able to do that. So what this tab allows me to do now, it gives me a place to put that finger. And it keeps me, through finger pressure here, from curling my hand under, which keeps it flatter. So I don't get this, here I'm all bulged up like this. But when I've got this tab setting just right, it leaves me more of a profile like this. And everything's flatter in the background. Now, I shoot competitively. Most of you guys know that. So I do things a little different with my tabs that most people wouldn't. I like to have shoelaces on here instead of elastic. The big reason is this hair right here. Elastic banding pulls my hair on my knuckles, half Neanderthal, whatever. I don't like that, so I always go to uh, a shoelace. And that also leaves me a little, I can put it a little tighter. It stays more consistent in my hand. But these tabs, guys, he's got another one. This is the Starks model. He's also come out with what he's calling a contour model. The part right here is concave just a little bit. And what that does, if you notice on your hand, your knuckles have this little, or your hand has this little curve. And that will better mimic that curve and lay in your hand just a little better for those who like it. Mine sets straight, not a problem. I absolutely love it. The contour model sets a little tighter in against the base of your hand. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate a few shots on this. talk a little more about what I think this tab is allowing me to do, and just talk a little more about it. Of course, you know me, I've got to get my finger sling on here. But notice my hand position when I address the string. It is, instead of being a 3 under, that I have problems getting that string off, I'm actually putting the string up against this finger, and as I draw, it helps me to keep my hand in control. So it keeps my hand in a more consistent space. It makes my draw cycle stronger with less pressure on these 2 fingers, because now I'm able to use this finger to draw with. So just going to throw a few arrows out there, just kind of demonstrate how this 2-trad tab works, and I'll try to get good. So here I can actually set my hand, and if you notice how flat my hand is there, and I can keep that same position just like that. What that tab does for me, I can keep the position, everything is tighter, stronger, everything is stronger, but I am able to relax these fingers more. When I had a regular tab that I was using for 2-finger, on a, say, a 30 arrow tournament indoor, I would have 5 or 6 noticeable plucks where I really came to the outside. My hand would get curled this way, especially when I fatigued, and I would pluck out like that to get out of that pressure. With this tab, everything stays nice and flat. Those plucks have went down almost to non-existent. They are maybe 1 pluck out of every 60 shots. But when I look at the videos, I feel like it plucks, but it's nowhere near as severe as it was without this tab. So we're going to do a couple more shots here. Like I said, I can set my hand, set my fingers, and everything stays the same. And the cool part about what this is, or what this does, if I start to curl too much, I can feel the pressure on my ring finger. So as long as I'm keeping that ring finger pressure the same, it helps me regulate the string pressure. On a traditional setup, especially longbow, string pressure is so important, especially on a 2-finger setup. With a 2-finger setup, you will get much cleaner releases, but there came the fatigue of shooting with just 2 fingers instead of 3. This hook totally eliminates the hand fatigue. So one more shot here. Little jerk. Nice follow through. That is the power of this 2-trad tab. So a couple more shots. And then we're going to talk about how to contact Mr. Dan. This thing, the shots break so nice. So nice. Perfect. So, again, the 2-trad tab comes in right or left hand. He's got the Starks model. He's got the Contour model. If you notice here, he's even got it set up for barebow guys on some of his models where you can actually string walk with this tab. This tab comes with 3 layers of cordovin. You can take one of the layers off if you don't like them. I like them a little thicker, especially with my arrow count. I will run between 100 and 200 shots a day when I'm practicing for indoor. So I really like to have that extra protection in my hands. So I'm going to try to get some pictures of the Contour beside the pictures of the Starks model, get Dan's contact information. Dan is starting a brand new company. This is his official debut into the world here. He can be found on Facebook right now. I'll get that link down below. And again, guys, go out and support Dan. Small business, makes great tabs. I am more than pleased with this tab. It has helped me tremendously. You will see this tab, hopefully, if I make the stage at the Lancaster Classic. But this tab will be there. I will shoot this tab primarily between now and, I don't know, probably forever. I really like it. But I will do about 40 indoor tournaments with it this year. We'll flip over to 3D season. I've already run this tab for probably the last 2 months in 3D. It has helped me out tremendously on the 3D range. Made me much more comfortable, much better shot process, much better release. Everything breaks nicer. And the cool part, and the big design on this tab is this little hook. Like I said, aluminum hook. You can spread it open a little bit if your finger's a little big. But with that hook, it allows me to feel that string pressure. And that is huge in what we do in competitive archery, guys. Thanks for my video here. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you got anything else you want me to try, comment below. Let me know. Any things you want me to explain, I guess, or to show maybe some more tips and tricks, feel free to comment on that. Let me know what's going on. Get out there and check out Dan, Mr. Dan Rodriguez, with the 2 trad tabs. Thank you, guys. I'll see you later.